I thought it would be interesting, also appropriate, to share a bit about the book, how it came about, and what it contains. So, what exactly is the book about? First of all, it's a spiritual manual of sorts, a reference on the human condition. It's a book about us, about human beings, about how we fit in with nature, and about our human nature specifically. It is about the nature of existence and how we pass through it naturally. The book begins before we were organic, before birth, before we left our source. This passage was a natural occurrence, as is every aspect of life, the universe, and our eventual progression past the portal of death. The book covers our organic nature in this three-dimensional realm. It also details in depth the nature of our organic being, our inorganic being, and how our social fabric limits perception and the ability to recognize and communicate spiritually. It gives clarity to the joy of knowing the truth, and the part of that truth that is our purpose. The book is simple, rational, common sense telling of the reason and way for our journey in the universe. It's a life-changing knowledge that has remained buried under years of superstition. Because it focuses on the truth in nature, it does not conflict with any religion. In fact, it predicates them for a clearer, deeper understanding. It does this by revealing a natural knowledge available to us all. It is entirely based on believing empirical evidence, unlike religions where they all eventually lead to a belief based in faith alone. It's a step-by-step examination of how to achieve complete peace and understanding in every worldly situation, which is reachable from a heightened awareness. It explains the inorganic relationships of the mind, the ego, the spirit, the will, intent, mood, attitude, and other attributes of which the searcher must find and the seeker must master. In short, it explains the reality from which we came, the reality which we are in, and the reality to which we are all destined in a demystified language. It is a document of the spirit and its journey through the organic realm. In our first meetup, it was noted that the book was difficult to locate on Amazon. So I'm providing a link below where you can use the Look Inside feature to view the table of contents. Next is the detail of how the book came to be. Well, there are three primary yet simple details that led to its genesis. First was my dogged determination to know the truth. For years, I studied and disciplined myself to all the spiritual teachings and practices I could find. Eastern, Western, shamanic, mystic, I dove into them all. Little by little, gradually, pieces of awareness began to cohere, forming a clearer picture like the focusing of a telescope, or a clearer communication like a distant voice eventually becoming distinct. This went on for decades until all the disciplines, practices, and the weight of accumulated awareness one day, one moment, one instance tore the cognitive binding of the world system and its social fabric. It wasn't torn externally, where I might be divorced or separated from the world. It was torn internally, where I could perceive behind the organic veil to see the inorganic dimension behind the veil. The veil of doubt, disbelief, chaos, confusion, and routine that cover up our daily sight. I suddenly had the knowledge of transcendence past the portal of death. The next thing to complete the book was a matter of destiny. As it happened, my wife of many years and I were speaking of spiritual matters. She related to me some remarkable occurrences in her very early childhood. Then she explained to me her earliest memory, one before being born. All these years, and now she tells me. I knew of lifetime regression, past lives, and that she was sharing innocently and honestly, and I came to know this first memory as one that we all share and have access to, no matter how distant or remote it seems. It's a natural part of us, and it's always available, though the way to reach it is also naturally challenging. I came to know this as the first agreement. These were the two seminal events, the yin and the yang, that brought the book to a natural birth. The third and final thing that brought the book into existence was my grandkids. I knew immediately and overwhelmingly that they should have the chance at knowing the truth and realizing a greater awareness, not just stumbling upon the cluttered road of dogma and tradition. You yourself may have had similar experiences in your journey of searching and seeking the truth. I hope there may be something you find here to help you light and illuminate your way a little bit brighter.